Cinema Worms.
Discussing everything from Grima Wormtongue to the Shy Halib. Thank you for putting Baby Bok Choy front and center.
Hi.
Oh, he doesn't have a voice. That's wrong. No. Oh, good God. Stuff of nightmares. Thank you for joining us.
Hi again.
Hello again. Welcome to yet another small recap. This one will be smaller than the other one. It's of the last century, quarter century in films. This is my list. We've already been through Zabib's. Some of them do differ, some of them overlap. Now we're going to do what we did at the start of your video. Now you get to guess. Try and guess.
By the way, this is LINDZ'S favorite / determined best films of the last 25 years.
Now, I have tried to go, obviously if I haven't seen a film, I couldn't include it. It's had to be something I'd seen. I am going with, a sort of best / favorite. So a lot of these things, I have several on here that I'm expecting you to fully lose your mind and scream at me about. And I put them in there because I'm a spiteful little heinous bok choy. But
I'm going to interject with comments about how your choices are incorrect.
That's okay.
I actually love that we have different opinions. Yeah. It's just really interesting.
It'd be a funny old world if we were all the same, Zebby. So, let's begin like we did with yours. And, of course, you know, because I was commenting a little bit, but, can you tell me, let's say the top sort of, 10 to 15, can you guess, how many of these can you guess? Let's see.
Okay, so LINDZ'S also has a really long list, but that has top ones, like top 15.
Don't worry, I'll explain all that.
I'm supposed to guess. I'm just delaying until I can guess. Okay. You already told me, so you gave it away.
Okay.
Parasite.
Uh-huh.
Yay! The Taste of Things.
Yep.
Yay! The Beast? No, maybe that's not the top 15.
It is in the top 15.
Yay!
I'm saying the top 20. I'm giving you quite a bit of
Return to Seoul. I haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
The French fires.
I think you mean Le Cinq Diables, which is Five Devils. It's
Devils.
It's on the list, but it's not on the top 20. Okay. So you've got 4 so far.
Shit. That's all I have.
Think of the films that I showed you straight away when we first started going.
Oh my god. I can't believe what's it called? 2014. The Coherence.
2013.
2013.
Yeah, Coherence.
Look how much I know your film.
I know, you do. I do.
Coherence.
Okay, anything else?
That can go in my honorable mentions.
I'll give you another 2 guesses for more films. Anything else?
I want to be like Anna and the Apocalypse.
I love it, but it's not on there.
Yeah.
I support Scottish.
Yay.
Yeah, good soundtrack. 2 more guesses. Anything you like?
Since 2000, The Descent?
Yep.
Oh, I actually just saw that for the first time for Halloween.
Yes, my hand still feels the marks of all of your jump scare squeezing.
I was actually pissed off in the beginning of that film. I was like, I did not sign up for this level of stress.
I didn't tell you how stressful it was.
3 most stressful films I've ever seen. The Descent,
Good Time,
and Uncut Gems.
Yeah. And you were going to say, okay, 1 more guess and then I will get started.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
You can't guess a single thing.
But I've already given you a lot. Wait. Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
On the list, but not on my top 20.
Petit Maman.
On the list,
Maman.
but Petit Maman
is
on the list, but not in my top 20.
I'm sorry, I'm out of guesses.
Okay.
I'm panicking.
Let's go. Let's begin.
Okay.
Let's begin, children. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. We're getting it done.
Go ahead.
Okay. Your both glasses have come off. Things are serious. Okay. What I'll be doing is, I have 62 films on this list. I'm going to start I would say they're in a semi kind of order. So the sort of 42 at the end of the list are not in any particular order. I could spend forever moving them around. But what I'm going to do is just kind of go through them. I'm going to give you the title, and the year, and maybe something about it and why I liked it so much. And then by the time we get to kind of the 20 to 25, I'll slow down, we'll talk a little bit more about those. Some of them are very popular, so people will already know, but you've probably already seen them. Some of them, you may have heard of them for the first time here. So I'm quite excited. Some of the things on my list, as I say, you're going to be like, Why the hell is that on your list? And I will die on the hill of every single one of these films. I thought about this so intensely. You did badger me a lot, but I did think about it intensely.
I've been badgering Linz for like 6 months about this project.
Yeah. And look, I'm doing it because I love you. So we might as well start how we mean to go on. Number 62, Nitram from 2021. Yes, I knew you were going to do that. Nitram is about...
It's good. It's a good film.
It's a really good film. It is about a mass shooting that happens. It has elements of the Mikado woven in. It was a deeply uncomfortable watch.
I'm not going to interrupt every time, but it is really good. That it captures the psychology of a psychopath really well.
And of course, Nitram is Martin, read backwards. Definitely worth watching. Do recommend it, but go in knowing that there is obviously gun violence to that. 61, The Green Knight from 2021. Now, we talked about that a lot. These are not in order. I know.
Marry me.
Yeah. I'm already doing it. We've made too late the venues, but you can't back out now. I really love The Green Knight. You did put me off by playing this record just so much. It's not a good thing to write to, guys. It is so...
Ding, ding, ding,
it's twinkly and discordant in all the worst ways. Okay, number 60, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Oh,
from 2022. It's really cute.
I haven't seen it.
Jenny Slate voicing Marcel. It's just a really sweet and kind of Pixar level of emotional narrative that I loved. 59, The Favourite. From 2018. Now, it was between this and Dogtooth. I do think that Dogtooth does something a bit more interesting, so if, and a bit more out there, but I love The Favourite so much. The casting is absolutely perfect. It's just bangers all the way through. I love Olivia Colman.
Can we rewatch it?
Yes, I saw it twice in cinemas, which is not usual for me. And there's something about this that, as I said when we were filming yours, I have no brand loyalty. So there are very few films that, in fact, there's only maybe one or two on this list who have like sort of doubled up directors. Most of the time I just like a film. I will go and see a director's things and be like, I don't care for the rest of your stuff, just this one. I have no loyalty whatsoever. I'm a deviant. But I did consider putting Dogtooth on as well. But then I was like, no, I don't know. I was picky. Number 58, The Eight Mountains. I can't believe
seen it.
We saw it together.
Wait, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That shows you how much impact it had.
So that was 2022. It was so important to me and to us at the time that I wrote...
Oh, that was a beautiful film.
That I wrote one perspective of a book that I wrote like the following year. One of the 5 characters was a deer.
Yeah, it was like the deer.
The deer was entirely... The pronged deer was based on the vibe and feeling of the Eight Mountains. It is basically about a guy who he goes there as a kid for summer with his family, and he meets another kid who lives there the whole time, and all his generations of family have lived in the mountains, and he's like, I'll live here, I'll die here. He won't leave. He's just tied to the land.
It's French, right?
Yes, and possibly Belgium, maybe. I'm not sure.
Some people are speaking French, I think.
Yeah.
Some sort of European language.
Oh, don't say that. Okay, anyway. Number 57, Passages. Now, this film should have been called The Worst Person in the World.
Sex.
It was really good. I have rarely hated a protagonist so much, and at the same time been so enthralled with what's been going on. This protagonist is a guy who is in a queer relationship with another man, and then he starts cheating with a woman. And there's a lot of problems in the fact that he's just a sucky person.
Ben Whishaw.
Yes, with Ben Whishaw. He's a terrible person anyway, but it's worse because Ben Wishaw's character, who plays the partner, has wanted a kid, and the cheater ends up knocking up the lady. And it's just like, everybody gets their feelings hurt repeatedly. It's like the sex scenes are kind of really intense and kind of graphic, and everyone's just trying to sort of figure out how to exist through this emotional, horrible maelstrom of a guy who just keeps wrecking lives and trying to like walk back all his decisions when it suits him. He's just an awful person. 56, Train to Busan, 2016.
Oh, that should have been my honorable mentions.
One of the best zombie films I've ever seen. If Hollywood had made it, they would have ruined it. It's perfect as it is.
Bok Choy of agreement.
Baby Bok Choy, please. 55, A Quiet Place from 2018. 54, Weapons from 2025. Again, Weapons, A Quiet Place, Train to Busan, all horror films, all very different. Train to Busan is zombies on a train. A Quiet Place is creatures who have misophonia have come to Earth. Just trying to kill everybody, so you have to be quiet.
You understand the anger.
Yeah. Weapons is an entire class of kids, bar one, getting out of their beds in the middle of the night, running into the darkness, and never being found again. And of course, all the suspicion falls on the teacher, but she doesn't know what's going on, and the town starts kind of turning in on itself. It's a great horror comedy. There's a lot of funny moments. Number 53, Anomalisa. From 2015, the Frigoli effect in stop motion animation. It took a really long time to make, I think, because of that. Anomalisa is my second animated one on this list. I don't see people talk about it, but it's so good. And the sex scene was so realistic as well. And I was like, how are these puppets? But this is, you know what, fantastic. Challengers coming in at 52 here, 2024. After Sun, 2022.
A lot of people are going to agree with you there.
Paul
and
Mescal
I didn't even mention it.
Being sad on vacation. Paul Mescal doing a very decent Scottish accent, actually. So I respect that.
Well done, lad.
Blue Giant at 2023 is an animated film about jazz.
I haven't seen it.
It was absolutely fantastic. I saw it in a cinema and wow. I think it's actually available on streaming. I would really like to watch it with you.
You've been saying that for several years now.
For
I
2
apologize.
years. It is so good. I really enjoyed it. I like that the jazz went with the animation. It's just about this I think he's a saxophone player, and he's like, I'm so ambitious, he basically wants to be the drummer for Whiplash. He's like, I want to be the best. And so he starts a band and they're like, well, you need to just practice all the time, you need to want it more. And he just does. And it's a beautiful, incredible, ambitious, like, synesthetic work that I felt like I was tasting the jazz as it was going on. Now, number 49, I can't believe you forgot this film. This is one of 2 films on this list where I was emotionally devastated. I don't know that I could ever watch this film again. Close, from 2022. Sad Little French Boys, one of them. Yeah, I cried the whole way through this film. It was...
Too sad.
Oh, and the thing is, of course, the actors are very young. The director's doing quite a lot with them and not speaking as well at some points, but it was so vulnerable and fragile and heartbreaking, and I just, yeah.
I think I had a former friend who hated it, felt it was manipulative, and I'm like, because emotions?
I mean, a film is designed to elicit emotions, but okay.
How dare they?
Okay, former friend.
Yeah.
Number 48, and again, remember that these are not in order at the moment. There's these are just all, like, these are pretty good, but they just didn't quite make it into my tops. They're all absolutely incredible films, though, because they fought out hundreds of other films to get here.
You have seen hundreds.
Yeah, I have literally seen hundreds. I see usually about 100 a year, so. Number 48, Booksmart. Baby Bok Choy. Do you agree?
Yes.
Excellent film. 47, Arrival. From 2016. 1917, which ironically was made in 2019. Anatomy of a Fall, 2023. Get Out, 2017. I can't believe you forgot this one. Nickel Boys, from 2024.
Oh, I didn't forget it, but then I forgot to include it, at least in some capacity.
Nickel
so
Boys
I did forget it, yeah.
Was so good. I loved the sort of first-person perspective of the camera. I loved that it was so close.
Ramel Russ.
Yeah, it was really excellent. One of the best films that I saw last year. Men, from 2022.
Wait, I love Men.
Jesse... Hilarious.
Sorry, I'm trying not to do the thing.
Hilarious statement.
I love Men. Not like that.
2022. Jessie Buckley on form. Jessie Buckley's always on form. Jessie Buckley, you're amazing. A Different Man, from 2024. Sebastian Stan having just an absolute breakdown on screen. I really loved this. I don't think a lot of people saw it. It seemed to have quite a limited run. And it's funny because the next one is The Father, from 2020, Olivia Colman and Anthony Hopkins. And so I've actually got The Father, A Different Man, Men, and Nickel Boys all in a little row here. These are men-based films.
These are films that I genuinely found powerful as well, that I didn't mention, that I'm going to now throw in my honorable mentions edits. So
we have been watching Death by Lightning on Netflix. and you were like, when was the last time I saw Betty Gilpin in something? And you named something, and I thought, I can't correct you because one of these films is on my list. The Hunt from 2020 that I made you watch a couple of years ago.
This is just me agreeing.
It
I
is
like
about
these films.
a group of elites who kidnap working class people to hunt them, and Betty Gilpin is, oh boy, Betty Gilpin is menacing. And when you see Betty Gilpin, she's just like a thin, blonde, white woman. You wouldn't think necessarily, she scared the hell out of me in that film. She is really good.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed The Hunt. It's one of those films that it's satire that seems to be kind of aimed at everyone equally. And I really enjoyed that. Drive My Car, 2021. Excellent film. Now, a film that I'm really obsessed with and no one else is, Sally Potter's The Party from 2017 with Kristen Scott Thomas and Cherry Jones, your girlfriend Cherry Jones.
My girlfriend Cherry Jones, call me.
That's fine. Kristen Scott Thomas can call me. Cherry Jones is great in this film though, and one of the funniest things about it is, it's black and white. And it's just done so beautifully. Everyone at this party has their own little problems going on. It's sort of like the calm, mature version of The Boys in the Band, but everything's kind of coming to a horrible, boiling up to a, like a climax. And Cherry Jones's girlfriend and partner in this, who's pregnant, is some sort of chef, but like a really pretentious one. And I just remember it constantly when I'm thinking of recipes, because the joke in here is when Kristen Scott Thomas loses her shit at the chef, she's like, because she was on like a Master Chef kind of program at one point, she keeps going on about it. She keeps bringing it up as like this pinnacle of her life. And Kristen Scott Thomas at one point is just like, oh yeah, 2 smears of parsnip and a grape coulis, like we're all very impressed with you. And I just think, it's so cutting. It's so sharp.
It didn't leave much of an impression on me, but I think if I rewatched it, I would.
It's very
enjoy it more.
It's my exact personality. It feels very play-like, which is normally a criticism I would level at a film, but actually for The Party it works really well. Okay, now, All of Us Strangers from 2024. Andrew
Two-thirds
Scott
agree.
And Paul Mescal being sad and queer together. Beautiful film, full of ennui, really, really nicely shot and done. L'Étranger from 2025.
We're going to do a little video on that. Shout out French Film Festival.
That was... I can't believe that something we saw only a couple of weeks ago had such an impact on me that I not only went home and read the original Camus novella, but I wanted to put it on this list. I came out thinking that is a film that's... I hope more people see it. It's absolutely going to stick with me. It is a fantastic adaptation, which in itself is an achievement, because you don't always have... It's hard to make a good adaptation.
I also read the book to copy you, and then, very impressed.
Really, like a close adaptation, but not to the point where it became restrictive. I just thought it was excellently done. Now... Something that you tried to guess earlier, Les Cinq Diables, The Five Devils, from 2022.
Haven't seen it.
It is kind of a woman marries this guy, but really she was kind of in love with his sister from years before, but the sister has some like mental health problems that are prompted by something that actually ends up, you find out, kind of is quite early because it's kind of part of the plot, is sort of being, I want to say, like supernaturally prompted. That's probably as close as I can get without spoiling anything or without giving a specific kind of clue to one. Where it contains the saddest and most romantic karaoke scene I've ever seen in my life. They sing Total Eclipse of the Heart, and I actually was like, what does that sound? Is it my heart cracking? I think so. Oh. It is so... I think I played it for you, and it's
did. And out of context, I can't... it's usually good to see the whole film to really get it.
It's just absolutely incredible. Okay, number 33. Pitch Perfect from 2012. One of the best films of the century. Bok choy upside down? What does that mean? Is that a disapproval?
Mooning the camera.
Just completely inappropriate.
I find Pitch Perfect quite fun, but you are on another level of obsessive devotion.
Listen, a cappella's life. There's nothing that makes a woman feel more like a girl than a man who sings like a boy. It is so quotable. Like,
it is a classic.
Excuse me, there's... You know, it is so quotable. Brittany Snow being just unhinged in the shower. It's just so funny.
We rewatched
Anna
it recently.
Kendrick just being what I feel like Anna Kendrick is probably just Anna Kendrick in real life. She's actually probably not quite as nice as Anna Kendrick probably actually is in real life. She's a bit more bitchy. But I just like her being like, I mean, a lot of these kind of underdog films, which, as you know, are my bread and butter. I love an like a sister act kind of thing. But one of the things it does slightly differently is that Anna Kendrick character Becca, who joins an a cappella group completely against her own wishes and then pursues it eventually. She's just so against it. Usually you have like some other reason. I mean, there is kind of a reason why she's doing it, but you rarely have a protagonist who's just so fucking against doing the thing because it's cringe. You rarely have someone going, no, I don't want, you make music with your mouth on purpose in public. I don't want to do that. And then getting sucked in anyway, because actually she's pretty good at it and actually it's kind of fun. Damn it. You see her street cred crumble. And it's a fun time. They use a lot of fun films, like Anna Camp being great. And Rebel Wilson as well. So, Portrait of a Lady on Fire from 2019. Another banger from Celine Sciamma, who also did Petite Maman in 2021, which is also on my list. 8-year-old Nellie's grandma dies and her family travels to start emptying her grandma's home, and her mum is like away and play in the woods.
This is Petite Maman you're describing.
That's which is the last one that I said, where she meets Marion. Only Marion is maybe somebody. Marion is a child here, but maybe Marion is somebody that she already knows. Now we're getting into top 30 here. I'm a little bit loose on a couple of these, but once we start hitting 25, we're pretty in the top ones. Number 30, Ready or Not from 2019. I like Ready or Not, and I feel like it's elevated above other films of its genre and nature by the fact that it is both horror, thriller, and comedy. It is about someone who's about to marry into this family. She's gone there only to find they've got a tradition, and the tradition is basically hunt the bride to her death, and if she lives, good for her, and if they manage to kill her, then too bad, but they all get to live. They claim it's an ancient right. Uh-oh. So you have Samara Weaving, who is just Margot Robbie, like an anxious rabbit in the body of Margot Robbie.
As you always do say.
Yeah, I do. The thing is, I don't fancy Margot Robbie, but I do fancy Samara Weaving. They are functionally identical people, and I like the anxiety. She seems like She seems like a gazelle in a human body. You know, there's a certain anxious, I'm eating the grass, but I have to be wary at any moment kind of vibe that I just like a lot. A
Yes.
twitchy vibe, a rabbit vibe,
I
a
see.
gazelle, antelope, graceful vibe.
Thank you.
You look like you should be bounding upon the Serengeti.
Yes. As she bounds away from these psychotic killers.
From these psychotic killers, but it's also genuinely very funny as well. And I feel like it sends up a lot of the things that you might see in this kind of film. A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic starring Timothy Chalamet that came out at the start of this year, well, for us anyway, the UK, so it was a 2025 film. I really liked it. I have not always enjoyed the biopics that have been coming out, the musical ones that have been coming out over the last few years. I feel like a lot of them really missed the mark. Some of them hit a little better than others. A Complete Unknown was fantastic. It introduced us more to Joan Baez as well, and now and Pete Seeger. So we've been listening to a lot of, and Woody Guthrie. You know, we started listening to I Bought You All Those Records for Your
Pete
Birthday.
Seeger for life.
And we've been listening to those, and that's been really good as well. Like, it's just a cracking film. It doesn't shy away from Dylan being kind of a dick. I kind of thought that Chalamet was going to be one of those guys that I always know it's Chalamet because he's so distinctive looking. And there were times during A Complete Unknown that I kind of forgot that I was watching Timothy Chalamet, which should never have been the case. He is so distinctive. And I just forgot and was like, no, I'm watching Bob Dylan. Just a fantastic film. Something that I think you might not have seen. Mulholland Drive. David
I have
Lynch's.
seen it.
Have you? So
yes.
This was one.
This is on other people's
yes,
tops.
of course it is, because it's such an odd but good film. It is really sad and really beautiful and very confusing and complicated. David Lynch being complicated because he can and because people let him do it. That was a 2001, so it's just squeaking in there. The Lighthouse from 2019. I can't believe you forgot that one.
I forgot it. I straight up forgot
Willem
it.
Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. It was black and white as well, wasn't it? And they're two men working in a lighthouse, and it's just weirdly homoerotic tension, but also they're just all having pretty terrible bad times. I think
You're
that,
only
yeah,
huh?
I think that was the first time I was like, oh damn, Robert Pattinson's pretty good. I hadn't really seen him in much apart from the Harry Potter film before, and I'd seen I'd sort of seen Twilight in the background. I hadn't really seen anything he'd done much before that, and I watched that and went, oh damn, he's pretty good. To hold your own against Willem Dafoe, impressive.
And you say, yeah, it's
And
impressive.
It's just them basically, and a sequel.
It's the only Robert Eggers film you seem to like, which is fair enough. I think it's my favorite.
I do have issues
of his films for sure.
Yeah, it is definitely top for me. Okay, 26, and I think for me here really begins my best films of the century. They're sort of in some kind of order. They're in as much order as I could manage, but I would recommend any of these films to anybody at any given time. You are probably going to be mad about at least one or two of them. We will start off with immediate annoyance with number 26, She's the Man, from 2006.
I did
Best
watch that.
film of the century. Channing Tatum, Amanda Bynes, just being, it's a Shakespearean adaptation, the best Shakespearean adaptation, one would argue, of Twelfth Night. It is so stupid, I quote it all the time.
I did watch it about 10 or so, 15 times when it came out. I did enjoy it.
Good. Listen, it's just hilarious. I don't know why it's so funny, but it is. I absolutely adore it. I still sometimes say brothers, brethren to myself, and also, what's your favorite cheese? Number 25, A Simple Favour, which is what I was singing earlier, and I don't think you clocked it, from 2018. Again, another Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively playing here a kind of stylish sort of cosmopolitan mother married to a hot novelist, Henry Golding, and Anna Kendrick being a mummy blogger who is becomes friends with Blake Lively's character, and Blake Lively one day is like, can you pick my kid up from school? I just have a simple favour to ask you, I'll come get him later. And then Blake Lively disappears. And so Anna Kendrick's mummy blogger goes from being someone who puts like her little chocolate chip recipe online to suddenly trying to solve a mystery. But it goes so much deeper than that. It is stylish. It is amazingly shot. You really feel like the chemistry between all three of the leads. And it's genuinely quite tense and disturbing as well. I really enjoyed this film. Number 24, Spiderman Across the Spider-Verse, from 23. I chose this one because of the multiverse stuff. Baby Bok Choy agrees. And because there were so many different animation styles at one point that I was like, I love, you put so much effort into doing different things here.
It's a brilliant film.
It really is. It's worth watching. 23, Donnie Darko, from 2001. Donnie Darko is the quintessential, did you grow up and watch Donnie Darko and did it sort of change you, as an edgy teen? And yes, it absolutely did.
We understand each other.
I still think about Donnie Darko. Number 22, On Falling, from 2024. I saw this at the Toronto Film Festival in 23, actually. It was October 23, but then
I haven't seen it.
It kind of came out later. This is my local filmmaker, Laura Carrera, and it's about an Amazon worker and just her kind of going to work every day and being at home. It is just an isolating portrait of loneliness. It's so beautifully done and so tragic. It was on my top that year, and I couldn't imagine not having it on this list. It is one of those films that I was like, wow, this is what a film can be. And I think a lot of the ones that I have in my top here are, hopefully anyway, showing you like, these are all completely different, and I've tried to make sure they were all really different. Like, if you watch all kind of 26, they were all very different ideas and premises and kind of cinematic like showings, but there's something really beautiful about On Falling. It is so quiet, and we don't often get a quiet film that is so powerful, and I feel like those two words are used together a lot, but this one really deserves it. Another film that I think you might not have seen, 2000's Battle Royale.
I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't know that. I think.
Oh, forgot it. Whoopsies.
Now, I did think about putting The Long Walk on here, but I decided against it. Although I do like The Long Walk. Because for me, Battle Royale does something that none of these other films do. Now, of course, as we know, Battle Royale, the creator, made it after he read Stephen King's The Long Walk, which is hilariously has now been made into film. But Battle Royale being made from The Long Walk, and then both of those things kind of inspiring lots of other dystopian, quite often YA things like, you know, your Hunger Games, your Divergent. We don't talk about Divergent, and various other things like that. But that kind of like a deathly they shoot horses, don't they? Which also is an idea that I want to do. It's just so sad. I have the book, the novel. I also have the mangas, which I've read as well. It is so sad and so beautiful. And you think a film that is essentially about children being kind of forced to fight to the death until there's only one left, could not be beautiful, but in fact it is, and it's really stressful. It's actually worse in the manga because you get to know them a little more. Obviously in a film you're constrained a little bit, but I do think it's something that you probably wouldn't be able to make it now in the same way. I think 2000 was kind of the time that you could make something like this, and it doesn't have to be kind of toned down too much. Like, you get to see like the sadness and the proper fear that's going on there. Okay, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, 2010.
I liked that movie at the time, for sure.
It's a shame that I don't have more Aubrey Plaza, Michael Cera films on here, but Scott Pilgrim is, again, I've got the graphic novels. I've read those. I really like it. It's got a load of people in it that would go on to be really, really bloody famous afterwards, but also it's just it's funny, it's got heart, it takes like a lot of kind of tropes from other places, sometimes it sends them up, sometimes it plays into them. It's a really fun watch. There's some animation going on as well, there's some musical numbers. It's just an odd film.
It's like comic book in film form.
Yeah, and it's just absolutely fantastic. I really want to rewatch it, actually. Now, a film that I didn't see until this year, even though it's been out for 11 years, Whiplash.
We did a video on that if you want to hear Linds's thoughts.
It was
further detail.
Great, really, really good. Again, another kind of one of my staple tropes that I like very much, apart from your underdog does a specialized club film, is the someone wants something so bad they will drive themselves into the ground to get it. I love that. Watching that happen,
probably coming from a really hungry filmmaker, Damien Chazelle, his first film. Yeah, young as hell, younger than us for sure when he made this.
You're showing us up, Damien. Yeah. But my God, considering that was this, if you had said to me like, oh, this is the result of a 30-year filmmaking career, someone made it their magnum opus, it was this, I would have been like, yeah, sure, I get it. Wow, they've really learned a lot. The fact that it was his debut, like, is nuts to me. Okay, another film that this was before we met, so I don't know if you've seen it. I expect you probably have. I think about this film a lot, even though I've only seen it the once. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
I should have mentioned that.
Yeah. Frances McDormand and Sam Rockwell being just absolutely incredible.
It's great.
Basically, Frances McDormand's daughter like goes missing and then is found, and she's put up these billboards, and we're watching this mother try to come to terms with it and get justice, and the struggling road. Now, in somebody else's hands and with other actors, like, that could have been a bit of a drudge. It could have been kind of like unrelenting and kind of grim. There is something so watchable about this that it was compelling, and I don't use that word very often, but it was compelling the whole time.
Yeah, really unique.
And I feel like it deserves to be in the top because it's so different from the others. It does something so different. And when you're handling something like that, like the death of a loved one, perhaps to violence, there can be a tendency to lean into, like, that kind of like a different kind of vengeance, like going on like a revenge kind of like spree or something like that. But that's not what happens here, and it's just really interesting. So we're getting high in the list now. Okay, The Substance from 2024. Baby Bok Choy agrees.
The Substance, okay, yeah, I'm taking notes after this. These are some great recs.
You know, the substance...
See how I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm right. So the Substance was one of those films that everybody talked about last year, and I was worried that it wasn't gonna live up to the hype. It absolutely did. I ate my words after. It was fantastic. Margaret Qualley, just knocking it out of the park.
We were gasping and laughing throughout.
Yeah.
I think. Did we watch it together? I think
yes.
I saw
Yeah,
it.
we did.
Okay, yeah.
And I've never heard an audience laugh hysterically before. Everyone was actually... I could hear the hysteria in the people around us, and it was just so...
We had caught something. It
was contagious hysteria. Oh, now a film that you didn't mention, but I know we both really enjoyed it. I maybe liked it more than you. Tar, from 2022.
Definitely people are going to be mentioning this.
Yeah.
Some people, this is towards the top for them.
Cate Blanchett playing someone at the top of her game as a conductor, and being, let's say, brought low by her own... But she's playing queer as well, and brought low by her own choices. Again, that's another thing I enjoy, is someone being brought low by their own choices. Number 14, now, obviously, I haven't seen A Ghost Story, as you mentioned yours. It does sound good, but my favourite ghost story here is Presence, from last year's 2024. Lucy Liu, who absolutely... It's actually interesting, because Lucy Liu is in another one of these films that I liked very much. It is so sad, and you watch everything from the ghost's point of view, and it is one of the very few films I've ever seen where I was wrong about the twist. There is a twist, but I was wrong. And it sticks in my head because I'm like, oh damn, you really led me down one path. I still maintain that would have been a good one, but I do like the way that they went with it better, and that's not normal for me. It's a very sad film. I find that I was feeling like I understand, like, you know, everything that happens and why it happens, but it did leave me feeling like an aching when I came out of the cinema. Now, Sinners 2025. Classic. Absolutely fantastic. Instant classic. Everyone should see this film. What a banger of a film.
You know what's interesting about Sinners? And I'm gonna go rewatch it, okay? Like, I didn't really like the second half. I thought it was kind of a mess. But the thing is, it's been transformative film for so many people, and mind-blowing. Best film of the year, best film of the last 10 years. So it's doing a lot. It is the filmmaking skills in it and the innovativeness are bold and exciting. Why'd you like it?
I agree to some extent, but I feel like it deserves to be on this list because of what it does and what it's achieved. There is something which I would have changed in the script that kind of kicks off what I think of as the second half, that I thought, I wish you hadn't done that, but otherwise, great, absolutely fantastic. The music, the vibes, the costuming, the premise, like, the whole, like, oh, just chills. Like, I remember sitting there thinking, this is going to be like, this changes the temperature of the industry.
It absolutely did, and it still does. And, you know, I'll leave it at that. I think it makes sense that you put it on the list, and I have some mixed feelings about it that I don't air in general public. So hopefully in the midst of this video, people aren't noticing that I had mixed feelings about Sinners. But at the same time, I agree with you. Everything it does sort of outweighs my issues with, like, the editing of the second half.
Okay.
I mean, I like everything you said. Yeah. That's all true. Yeah. It's all true.
I am right.
It's exciting stuff.
Okay, number 12. Please see this film, Return to Seoul. Oh my god! No one's seen this film. I cannot talk about it with anyone. It's driving me nuts. 2022. It was one of those films that I thought, oh my god, I feel changed as a person. I just, like, there's something in this that when you were describing your favorites, like, you know, Call Me By Your Name and things like that, I was thinking this was the film that I came out going, oh damn. It is about a 25-year-old French adoptee who travels to South Korea seeking her biological mother. She is not necessarily the world's nicest person. Neither is she horrible, but she's just human. and there are definitely things that she's doing where you can see, you're not even being told that she's lost, but you can kind of just tell there's something lost and a little bit angry about her. Um, that I just absolutely loved. I thought it was fantastic. That's number 12 on my
Mark
list.
Kermode loved it.
It's Mark Kermode is mostly on the money. We agree on like 90% of things, I think. So I really feel that everybody should watch this film. And now we're getting into the, my God, everybody should watch these, because if you're missing even a single one of the top kind of, like, basically from Sinners onwards, even Presence or onwards, or The Beast onwards. Oh, I missed The Beast. That was 2023. You haven't seen that, but it was fantastic.
Yeah. On the list.
So top 15, I'm like, you gotta see these. These are the quintessential filmmaking. Okay.
Drumline.
Number 11, The Descent. Still, maybe the greatest horror film ever made. I stand by that. I'll die in this hill. Like, I'll bring my own shovel. I'll dig my own grave in this hill. It combines all of the fears. I even like looked up the names for the fear. Did you know there's a name for the phobia of getting into a car accident? I know, because I looked it up for a review of that film. So if you don't like like friends who are like traitors, if you don't like caving, if you don't like adventure, if you don't like being wet, if you don't like being in the dark, if you're afraid of car accidents, if you're afraid of stuff in the dark, if you're afraid of monsters, if you're afraid of flares, if you're afraid of fire,
being trapped.
Being trapped in small spaces, being trapped in large spaces, sharp things. This film has all of that. A number of just atrociously terrifying jump scares. I swear to God, I actually at one point was like, I may have to stop holding your hand, because after the 6th time you crushed my fingers from a jump scare, I was like, damn, I can't remember how many more jump scares there are in this film. My poor hand. But like,
Bok Choy, but sad face.
wait, just upside down for this. Turn that smile upside down, Bok Choy. Bok Choy, don't ever go into the dark. There are terrible things that lurk in the dark. Yeah, an absolutely fantastic horror film. Now, another horror film in a completely different way, The Zone of Interest, 2023. What scares me more? The Zone of Interest, featuring Nazis who live next to a concentration camp and treat it like it's just like, you know, an innocent building next door, or horrible things that live in the dark and the descent. Honestly, Nazis probably, but Jesus, they're both terrifying films. And I think when I started putting this list together, I started thinking, it's not just about what I enjoyed or what I think is technically very good, because I would have maybe put different things on here, but what made me feel, what changed me, what made me see things in a different way, or revealed something to me. I get around thinking about The Zone of Interest, because if I think about it too much, I just feel terrible, by thinking about it as being Jonathan Glazer's Big Frog film, because he kept making like big frog noises. And it's just an easier way of thinking how just I want to go back in time and punch all Nazis. Now we're getting into that was number 10.
Oh.
Number 9, Hedwig and the Angry Inch. From 2001. I can't believe you didn't pick that. You know that's one of my favourite films of all time. So, it is a comedy rock musical from John Cameron Mitchell, who also made things like Short Bus. And he plays the titular character, Hedwig, who grows up as a young man in East Berlin, and then is taken to America by his new boyfriend, Luther, but he can only go if he changes sex. So he has an operation, doesn't go very well, it's a bit of a botched job, hence the title. And it is so sad and so beautiful. I still play the soundtrack even to this day. I have watched this film more than any other film on this list. I have seen Hedwig and the Angry Inch like hundreds of times. Hundreds. I owned the DVD, and at one point in my life, I would play it several times a day. I would just have it in the background.
It's amazing.
Well, I didn't have like much TV, and I just like owned a few DVDs, so it would either be this or Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. It was just constant, like, these were the films. Okay. Number 8, Past Lives.
Oh,
Just beautiful, romantic. We talked about it a little bit on your list. People should watch that. now we're getting into some of the things that you have talked about in your list. We actually overlap quite a lot.
Ooh.
Past Lives is a romantic, but it's not the most romantic one in my top 10.
I know what it is.
Yeah, so it's basically about a woman who used to, have this friend when she was a kid. There was always kind of something between them, and she's come to America. It's
From Korea.
From Korea. And she's, grown up there. She's met a white guy. They got married. But she's now meeting her childhood friend, and there's still something between them. It is the most yearning film. It is super romantic. It is just like, yeah. I don't know if I could marry you if you didn't think Past Lives wasn't romantic. Like, I would be like, are you dead inside? Like, it's just so beautiful.
Oh.
Now, number 7, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Well done.
I think I was alone when I saw this. I think you were somewhere else, and I remember being in the front.
I was in America.
Yeah,
I saw it in America.
Yeah, I was in the front row of a very packed theater. I remember only being able to get a ticket in the front row, and it wasn't the IMAX, but it was a big.
Holy crap!
Yeah, but I remember thinking, I saw it was very close to the action, and I was like, damn, I walked in like late, which is unlike me. Normally I like to be there really early. I like to see the trailers. I like to, get comfortable with my little snacks and my things and, just vibe. And I walked in there and I literally was like in the process of taking my jacket off when the title card, the had come up, and I was like, oh god, here we go. Okay, I'm not ready. And then I was blasted with the zaniest film that broke a load of barriers and stuff. I had never seen anything like it. I'm really glad that it did as well as it did. It feels like, it kind of changed some things in filmmaking, or maybe opened some doors. It's beautiful, it's sad, it's hilarious, it's incredibly long, like, but it didn't feel that way. It's just wonderful. It's just,
too much.
It's too much. And there's not even any, like, go look it up. If you haven't seen it, or you haven't heard of it, you must have been living under a rock, because it won stuff, it's crazy. But it's just a really, showing the multiverse of a life, essentially. Including a part where she has hot dogs for fingers. So if that should give you a certain amount of idea of that crazy.
How do you think your parents would feel about this film?
I think they would hate it. Do you not remember there is a certain fight scene with a blurred object? And I do not want to think about trying to explain that to my parents, nor how they would feel watching that.
I hope it's still recording.
They would never get through the first 10 minutes. It's not their thing. However, I believe that they have seen the next one on my list, because probably everyone has, and at least we can all agree on that. Gladiator from 2000.
Classic.
Russell Crowe being Maximus. He was the commander of the armies of the North. I'm not going to do the whole title. And he is then, through means of some traitor behavior and some betrayals and some dissents, he ends up being forced to participate in gladiatorial games under a very unkind emperor played by Joaquin Phoenix. And
Nero, right?
Yeah, it was no.
I don't remember. I don't know anything.
It's not Nero.
I'm sorry.
Damn it, because it's Commodus. It's Commodus. Before I even look it up, it's Commodus. And
it's Commodus.
It's just so it always makes me want to go. Yeah, and how many emperors can you name? Because I can name a stupid amount of them.
You'll win.
Yeah,
just
it's always
straight off. You'll win.
I actually, in my most recent book, I did put in that there was a bust of Vespasian in one of the upstairs rooms, and I thought no one's going to notice or care, but those who do, well, if you know who Vespasian is and you read this book, you'll know why I put a bust of him there. Big up Vespasian fans. There are dozens of us.
I literally don't know what she's saying.
Okay, anyway, so number 5, Fellowship of the Ring. I personally
Lotter
like the Two Towers better, because I like a big fight scene. It just feels like a big massive battle, like a proper sad, like, oh my god, that we are absolutely at our darkest hour. This is the dark night of the soul for us. And I also like the Two Tower books as well. Apart from the big spider Sheila bits, there's something so wonderful about Fellowship of the Ring, though, it is really like, here bonds are made and broken. Here, someone who is completely unsuited to the task of carrying a piece of jewelry across like thousands of miles of enemy infested territory, like a ring that will corrode his very soul, volunteers to do it anyway because it's the right thing to do. My God, what a film!
Lynn's
Peter
recently
Jackson.
watched all three the director's cuts. Was it in one day?
No, it would luckily it was like the same. It was the same week, I think, and it was, yeah, it was like Monday, Tuesday,
Of course,
Wednesday.
it couldn't be in one day. Then you would
Um,
be watching films for like
you literally would be.
13 hours straight.
It was so long. And the director's cut makes them, of course, even longer. Fellowship and Two Towers both came in well over 3 hours. Return of the King, which is the final in the trilogy, was over 4 hours long because they added all the extended. It was the extended, you know.
Extended endings.
It was really intense. I did take dinner into all of them, and I was comfortable, but achy by the end. But it really does hold up. It's fantastic. It still looks great. We don't talk about The Hobbit, because it's no good. But Lord of the Rings shows what can be done if you are not trying to overextend things, if you are adapting based on the material that you have and you're treating it with care and reverence, which Peter Jackson did for this. And it's what an amazing cast as well. And when like there's obviously all this little trivia and lore that's kind of crept up over the years, like when Viggo Mortensen's character Aragorn, he kicks a helmet at one point, and then he drops to his knees and screams, and that's because, as we talk about a lot on the internet, there's a bit of a meme about how someone always pops up and tells you, actually, he broke his toe during that moment, and Peter Jackson was like, yeah, you do sound like you're in pain, because you just broke your foot, we're going to keep that cut in. So that's actually Viggo Mortensen genuinely breaking his toe on camera. I don't think he was even supposed to kick the helmet, but he just did. There's also a point where somebody throws a knife at him, and he actually hits it away with his sword. That was actually the stunt guy missing his mark, and Viggo Mortensen actually just reflexively saving himself. That was not intentional. It was completely a mistake. So I just love all these little details, and it's just a beautiful film. The only thing that ruins it is Elijah Wood's constantly bitten fingernails, which I know he regretted. They're actually disgusting. And there's a lot of close-ups of him handling the ring, and I'm like, bro, just get some of that nail polish, the one that
They
takes
failed him.
Poor guy.
They failed to manicure him. Go ahead.
Now, okay, top four. Number 4, Kill Bill Volume 1.
Yes, I actually thought about Kill
Absolutely.
Bill for 2 seconds and
Absolutely.
then immediately forgot it.
Formative. It was another one of those. Now that's from 2003. That was another one of the DVDs that I had that I played constantly. Do you know they're actually re-releasing it as like the duology in cinemas, and the fight
When?
apparently, I don't know if it'll be here, but they're doing it in the US in selected theaters. There is an extra extended piece of animation. There is a piece of animation in Kill Bill Volume 1 already with Oren Ishii, played by Lucy Liu, who, when you see her kind of like her family trauma play out, let's say, but there is another piece of animation, so apparently that's going to be going in the too. But what's really interesting is in Kill Bill Volume 1, the fight that she has with the Crazy 88, it's in where they're playing the 5678's Woohoo song that's very popular, very famous. Uma Thurman switches into Uma Thurman, who is your titular assassin, Beatrix Kiddo. She's on her mission to kill Bill, who is her former lover who tried to murder her and left her for dead, and all his little minions. Uma Thurman's character is about to fight the Crazy 88, who are like a group of kind of, like, I don't even know what we would call them at this point, but yeah. So she blinks and the film turns into black and white for the duration of the fight. And it doesn't turn back until she has defeated the last guy. And I always thought, that's a great stylistic choice. It's really cool because everything in this house was very like big and bright. Of course, we know, if you've ever seen the Kill Bill like cover of the DVD or the poster, Uma Thurman's wearing a very recognizable yellow jumpsuit essentially and holding a katana. I actually went as her character for Halloween one year. It was very fun.
Hot.
Thank you. And but I recently found out that the reason that's in black and white is because the film trading standards were like, it's too gory, So they wouldn't let him do it, and he was like, well, I'm not cutting it. And they were like, okay. And he said, well, if I put it in black and white so it doesn't look as bad, will you let me have it? And they went, okay. So this re-released one, apparently the Crazy 88 fight is going to be in full color again. But I actually really liked it in black and white. I don't know if I want to see it differently, because I thought there was, to me, that was the moment where she switches on being an assassin. She's like switched on to like, I don't actually know if there's 88 guys, but there's a hell of a lot of guys fighting her, and she's like fully locked in to what she's doing. I thought that worked really well. Now, number 3, Coherence from 2013. I saw this at the Edinburgh Film Festival that year. Nicholas Brendan, who's most famous for being Xander in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and fellow actors. It was made for a tiny amount of money. They had a tiny budget. The script was only partially written. They were allowed to kind of go off piste, and kind of like riff on things. It is essentially about a dinner party where there has been this comet thing happening overnight, and all their phones stop working, and they work out that they are kind of up against other parallel universes, and they see themselves from other. And I will not say any more than that. Don't, if you're going to see this film, don't even bother looking it up. Go in completely blind. I remember being in this film, and there was, it's not like a jump scare film or anything, but there was one moment where the entire audience went, and once you realise exactly what's going on and exactly what you're seeing in one moment, and everyone just gasped, and I was like, oh wow, this is one of those films that made me want to be a filmmaker. It made me want to be a script writer, which I'm glad I'm getting into at an advanced age, but it was, wow, what a film. I would have given just all of my soul. And I just heard they're making a sequel with the original cast, and I'm like, don't write this for me. But I'm
your dreams come
I'm
true.
so excited. We've waited 12 years, but I'm willing to wait more if it's wow. Because what a film. The ending. Please go and see this film. Do yourself a favor. Now, number 2 and number 1, they're really tied. Parasite from 2019 and The Taste of Things from 2015.
Two amazing, excellent, very different films.
Very different.
Well chosen.
Yes.
Well chosen.
So, of course, Parasite is the edgy, stylistically interesting.
Bok Choy fell to the ground.
Why would you do that to me, Bok Choy?
I'm like, we're done. Get out of here, Bok Choy.
Come on, Bok Choy. You can just be you can be my Iago. Yeah. Patience, Iago.
Continue.
Parasite is the stylistic, edgy film that I think we all needed at that point in time. The Taste of Things is the most romantic thing I've ever seen in my life. So The Taste of Things, we're watching basically two people, a guy who is kind of a food critic and his cook, played by Julie Binoche. And actually both of those actors, they used to be together. I think they have a child together, and it was wild to me to find out later that they did. I had no knowledge of this. I don't keep up on French drama, I suppose, as much as I should. But she doesn't want to be his wife, because even though she's in love with him, but because she feels that would take away from her job as being his chef. And she is the most incredible chef. Now, it's shot with a lot of reverence, a lot of adoration for them and their relationship, but this is done by someone who loves love and who loves food, and maybe even loves food more than love. The shots of the food, they are lingering. You see things, as I said in your video, you're allowed to see things simmer and bubble. And the way he ends up kind of winning her heart is through food as well, and the whole thing is just absolutely fantastic. And the important thing about her is she doesn't do all of these gaudy things that mean nothing. She's not about like, oh, decoration for the sake of decoration. She makes amazing food, and it's simple and it's rustic a lot of the time, or she'll try and like kind of bring it down to, she just wants to make excellent, good quality food. But she intrinsically understands food in a way that very few people do at this point in time. It's just absolutely fantastic. And of course, Parasite was, the class differentials. It is a horror, kind of a thriller, and also a comedy. There's a lot of very funny moments in it as well. Watching this poor family slowly worm themselves kind of unknown into the life of a rich family. It begins when the son is hired as a tutor to replace someone else, and then he's like, oh, do you know, I know a good driver, gets his dad to drive. It's like, I know a good housekeeper, gets his mom. All of them kind of starting to move in, but pretending they don't know each other, and they're kind of keeping the charade going, and everything kind of coming to a horrible, boiling climax. That was just, it absolutely deserved everything that it won.
Really well chosen. I didn't actually rank my top like 12, 15, but I like the way you did that because it was like the intensity of your love for these films increased and increased to a pinnacle.
Does. You know, and I really do feel like I really obsessed about this a lot. I mean, some of it was prompted by you, but some of it was just me obsessing, because I wanted to make sure that these were all films that I would be okay recommending. Like, there's nothing on this list that I'm like, you know, I felt, but if I felt like that, I took it off, you know. It was really important to me. And obviously, as you know, I'm a big film person. I do see usually between 80 and 100 or so in the cinemas every year. We obviously see films at home as well. So it's really important that I have a good grounding in what I'm talking about and what I'm potentially writing in future, and why. And you know, we have a fair bit of overlapping tastes, but are there any I don't think I had some quite strong reactions to some of the ones on your list. I think the only one you didn't like particularly was Nitram. And
No, I liked everything you referenced.
Yeah. There's nothing that you thought like, oh, I hated this or whatever.
No. Some things I kind of like
Interesting.
didn't care about, but I think I commented. I gave my opinions throughout.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great list. Really well done.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, this has been fun. It's almost sad to look back on. Wow, the first quarter of the century is almost done now, and I've been loath to. And as I said to you, we still have 6 weeks left of the year, and I was like, what if I see something in the next 6 weeks that changes my life completely? I just don't want to commit. But I have committed now, and we could always talk about it. But I really feel very confident about that list. A bloody good list. So.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you for sticking with it. If
yes,
you did, yeah.
And if you're a
I
film
hope your
lover,
laundry is good in the background or whatever you were doing when you were watching this film.
Please give us your thoughts. Also, I hope you like my blue eyeliner matching the blue sweater I borrowed from Linds.
We're going full winter gear now. We're at that point in Scotland.
Anyway, thank you for being with us.